So hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can host your own website using AWS services alone. I'll keep it super straightforward and use only the essential tools to get the job done. There are four main components, services that you need to achieve this. One is AWS CloudFront, and second is AWS S3, and third is AWS Route S3, and the fourth component you need is a ACM certificate. All right, now we are in the S3 console. Let's get started with setting up our S3 bucket. We are kicking things off with S3 because it lays the groundwork and make configuring the other services a lot smoother. Starting here just simplifies everything down the line. The bucket is ready to go and I have named it www.minishamurugan.com. Matching the bucket name with your domain name is a smart move. It's like setting up the foundation, so everything else just click into place when we do the configuration later on. So let's see, how did I create this bucket? What option did I pick? Let's quickly go over the main setting I used to set it up. Click on Create Bucket. It will take you to the setup page for the bucket. Here, set up the bucket type to general purpose. Give it a name. Make sure block all public access is checked. Leave everything else as default and then click Create Bucket. Once the bucket is ready, upload your website file into it. Next, head to the bucket properties. Again, leave more settings as default, but edit the static website hosting section. Enable it. Set the hosting type to host a static website and specify your landing page. In my case, it's index.html and an error page. Leave the redirection rules empty and save your changes. And here you are good to go. The properties are now set up correctly for the bucket. Now let's set up the bucket permission. Go to the bucket policy and paste the script provided in the video description, or if you choose to type it, pause the video and type the bucket policy in the same structure as shown here. Just update the bucket name in the resource field to match your bucket. And that's it, your bucket is fully configured. Now let's move on to setting up Route 53. I was calling this as Route S3 by Route 53 and Route S3, I mean the same, all right? First things first, let's register your domain name. Enter the domain name you'd like to host your website on. Check its availability and pick the one you like. Once you have bought it, you are ready to use it when the status turns green. In my case, the domain name is minishamurugan.com. Same as my S3 bucket name, if you can recall. And it's quite critical that the bucket name matches the domain name for all the other configuration to work together nicely without any extra configuration or tweaks. Now let's create a hosted zone. Enter your domain name and set the type to public hosted zone. Once the hosted zone is created, you'll see 2 records. Don't worry, that's all we need for now. Now let's move on to the ACM to set up your certificate. Make sure you are in Virginia region. Request a new certificate. Enter your domain name. Leave everything else as default and click request. That's it, easy peasy. Once the certificate is issued, then create a record in Route S3. This will link the certificate to the DNS. Route 53. Like you see here in Route 53, and CNAME record is created. Now let's move on to creating CloudFront configuration. Now let's create our CloudFront distribution. Origin domain, choose the S3 URL and click on use website endpoint. Leave everything else to default and viewer protocol policy, change it to redirect HTTP to HTTPS, and rest leave it to default settings. Choose the ACM certificate that you have created, and default root object, set it to your landing page. On my case it's index.html, and then create the distribution. Once the distribution is successfully deployed, your CloudFront configuration is good to go. You can grab the CloudFront domain URL and test it out to see if your website is working, or just type your domain name into the browser and voila, your website is live and ready to serve the world. That's it for this tutorial. I hope this walkthrough helped you get your website up and running on AWS. Thanks for watching and happy hosting. See you next time.